Jerod, to TRID and revised disclosures. We have a borrower that was wanting to purchase two parcels that are next to each other. However, each parcel has two different sellers and they're wanting to construct their primary residence. How can we disclose this as one transaction on the closing disclosure?
So you can TRID is set up that first off, it's all about the dirt. Remember that. Okay. So we got that out of the way. Dirt's one of the ingredients. So in the property section, you'll list all the dirt being purchased with the loan proceeds. Okay. It's not about just one property. Okay. On the closing disclosure, since that's what the question was about, there's a spot for the sellers. You can have multiple sellers. So the seller of parcel A, the seller of parcel B, that will also be there located. So there's no reason you can't use a single closing disclosure to purchase two different properties owned, one by Kevin, one by Dave, on the same transaction. Where it gets tricky is on the closing disclosure page 3. All of the seller's fees need to be on page 2. Okay, it's not going to say which seller's which, so page 2 is not a problem. It's page 3. There's one seller section. Now, the good news is on the borrower's version of the disclosure, the closing disclosure, you don't have to provide seller information on page 3. So I wouldn't leave it all blank. Okay. Now, internally, the bank has to have a copy of whatever is provided to the seller. Well, in this case, there's two sellers, probably going to be two settlement agents involved. You need to get a copy of what each seller was provided by their settlement agent. You won't be responsible for the compliance with it, but you have to have it in your possession. And then I recommend you don't include any information on page 3 because half of it's going to be one seller, half of it's going to be another seller, and you don't have to disclose it anyway. But all of the page 2 information from both sellers, Kevin and Dave both, need to be included on page 2. So yeah, it can be done.
Okay, Dave, and those flood Q&As, there used to be an FAQ about the option to insure for the cost to demolish a building, but I don't think that FAQ made the most recent revision. Is this still an acceptable method for non-dwelling
Yeah, it
buildings?
is still acceptable. What they did is they wrote these FAQs, and then the Federal Register that accompanied it, they said, we don't really feel like we need to get into that because these alternative methods, and we're just saying there's alternative methods. So they took out specific things about it, but it's still there. That is an alternative. Trust me.